Welcome back, kind listeners, to Under the Banyan Tree.
The live show where ancient epics meet modern minds.
I am Leo, a yogini from the West.
And I am Mayank, a rationalist from the East.
And together we journey through the Mahabharata, from the retelling of Ramesh, Menon, epic of war, fight, and everything in between.
Everything in between.
So today we are reading chapter 31, Eklavya, with the sankalpa of reading it from the point of view of discrimination. Mayank, to kick off, what's your understanding of discrimination?
Well, I wrote some definition. I never refer dictionary. I come up with my own definitions. It's creating an ill feeling within someone by not giving them their well-deserved due/rights.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So creating an ill feeling or a bad feeling within someone by not giving them their well-deserved rights or dues.
And if that person doesn't feel that ill feeling,
Yeah.
it's
Then
not a discrimination?
no, we agreed that if a neutral
We need to give context.
yeah. So if a neutral observer perceive it as a discrimination, then also it's a discrimination, even if the involved party doesn't feel like that.
Okay. So it's more than what the individual is feeling. It's about the individual or it's about the one that it's observing.
So I feel it's about justice. And when it comes to justice, though justice is about individuals and the involved individuals, but the justice should be something which can be like universal, which from a neutral third party observer who has no, involvement in the whole scenario, even that third party can say that whatever happened was
It's very
just.
difficult to not have a bias.
Yes, it is. But we can always have things in theory. Then they are not practiced.
Yeah.
That's a separate issue. But
Okay.
we
in
can
theory.
have the theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My understanding of discrimination, for me, my first thought was differentiation, to differentiate something from something else, and putting it in a hierarchy.
Okay, wait. I was distracted. Can you repeat it again, please?
So to differentiate something and put it in a hierarchy.
Okay.
And with this in mind, it becomes, as you said, unjust, and it's a prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, or not only people. And this is because I think discrimination in the sense of differentiation, it's needed. We need to understand that a woman is different of a man. We need to understand that type A of people have different needs of type B of people. But it's when we judge and create a hierarchy of these differences that we bring on discrimination. And I honestly love that we created a new word for this discrimination instead of reusing the word discrimination that comes from discriminate to discern, to recognize the differences, to know what's black and white, what's pink and orange.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, if I hear the word discrimination, I at least don't perceive anything positive.
Yeah.
So I would say black and white, pink or blue. For me, those things are classifications, because classification doesn't have an
Yeah.
innate positive or negative
Yeah. Yeah.
connotation to it, but I feel with discrimination, it's very difficult to bring in, good feelings.
Oh, and I agree with you, and that happens now. So
Yeah.
the word evolved, and I'm saying this
Okay.
because I'm used to read discrimination within the context of yoga
Mm.
and within the context of cognition. And the word itself, if you go back a couple of hundreds years, they meant only that, to differentiate. And only now, and in a social context, it gained that meaning of discriminating someone, of looking at someone as less or more, and giving more privilege to some people than the other people because of their ethnicity or characteristics or sex or age or even a disability.
Okay. What I really liked was the use of word hierarchy in your definition, because I think that sets the tone quite clearly.
Thank you.
Like when I say creating an ill feeling within someone by not giving them their well deserved rights, it's something like that. In an imaginary hierarchy, you place yourselves up.
Or down.
Yeah. Like here, I'm looking it from that party, who's doing discrimination, not who is suffering.
Yeah.
So the one who is doing, for they are for sure in that hierarchy, are in the higher position. So they feel that, yeah, we can we can rob the other people with their due rights. We cannot give them their due rights or whatever they deserve. So yeah, I think that word sets the definition quite nicely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think, do you have anything else to add to the definition or understanding of discrimination?
No, I think we are good to jump.
So jump and do the summary.
Yeah, what was the word for summary?
uh, Shravan.
See, we are doing this after a long time. Okay. So here's the Shravan, chapter 31, Eklavya. One evening, a young boy from the forest came to Guru Drona. The boy just took a shower, had a dark skin tone but had an impressive look, and in a musical dialect, he introduced himself as Eklavya, son of the king of Nishads of forest. Eklavya requested Drona to make him his shishya, his disciple, for archery. Drona told him that he only teaches kshatriyas and a Nishad could never learn along with him. Eklavya had tears in his eyes. After hearing this, he took Drona's blessing and left for the jungle. In forest, he started his painstaking long quest of making Drona's statue. He even cried many times while making this statue, as he was not able to give it the perfect eyes. After many days, he finished and venerated the statue with lotus flowers and started his practice. After many years, the princes of Hastinapur went out for hunting in the forest. They had a hunting dog who was all happy to guide them with all the marvelous scents he had in the forest. At some point, the dog was deep into the forest and he was barking frenetically, and his mouth was all sewn with 7 arrows in a perfect symmetric circle around his head. Arjun started pulling out those arrows, and he, along with all other Pandavas, were just surprised on how good that archer may be who did this cruel yet incredible feat of archery. Filled with envy, Arjun asked Eklavya who is he and who his guru is. Eklavya introduced himself and his guru as the greatest archer in the world, Drona. Hearing this, Arjun fled to Drona's house and was all livid and devastated. He said to Drona that you swore to me to make the greatest archer in the world and you lied to me. Your Shishya, the Nishad in the forest, is a much superior archer than me. He makes me look like a child. The other princes arrived and they were also praising the archery of Eklavya. So Drona decided to go along with Arjun and check himself. As Drona knew Arjun is the hope for the world, he took Arjun on the chariot to the forest, and there they saw that Eklavya has blindfolded himself and he shot 10 arrows in a lightning speed, which killed 8 birds on 8 different trees through 8 arrows. One collected a lotus flower from the pond, and one captured a big fish which climbed up out of water for air. Drona came in front of Eklavya and he put his hand in his head and he put his head on his feet and started crying. Eklavya reminded Drona about their brief encounter and showed him now he uses his statue as his guru. Meanwhile, Arjun, all during all this, was burning in envy and resentment. Then Drona asked Eklavya that if I am your guru and no pupil had learnt better from me than you, then you should also give me some guru dakshina. Eklavya said he can even take his life as dakshina, and for him this will be an acknowledgement of Eklavya being a student of Drona. Drona asked Eklavya's right hand thumb, which he sliced off happily and knelt in front of Drona. With shivering hands, Drona blessed him and turned to see light in Arjuna's eyes finally. They both came back. Eklavya applied herbs on his bleeding hand and began practicing rigorously again. But he would never reach the same level of proficiency. Arjun is again the greatest archer of the world.
Yeah, it's a very disturbing chapter for me. I just want, so he was absolutely fantastic. I think nothing was left from his summary. You mentioned that the arrows were around the head. So they were around his mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I understood.
Yeah.
That was sealing and preventing the dog from barking.
Yeah.
And they were 7 arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's kick off the Svadhyaya. And where do you see discrimination in the text? What comes out for you?
So while reading the summary, a thought came to my mind and I want to, bank it so that we can revisit it later. And
Don't forget.
Yeah, and I may not forget. So the thought was the parallel between Drona and Arjun and Master Shifu and Tai Lung.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Tai Lung was told that he will be dragon warrior.
Yeah,
that he's being prepared for.
And after it became...
Yeah. So we can bank it. And
Okay.
we can revisit it later.
Okay.
And we can probably, So you said, I will let you start because I rambled for so long. That from where was the first instance you felt discrimination?
So what I felt was society discrimination in relation from Drona to Eklavya. So I don't think it was a personal discrimination. I think it was, I'm hired by the guru. I only can teach Kshatriya. Therefore, I cannot have you as a student. And this, for me, it's the obvious discrimination. And after I started thinking, did Eklavya tricked Drona by asking the blessing?
Uh, Before we go there, can I
Yeah.
ask you a question? If Drona was not hired as a Kuru teacher,
Hmm.
and he was a freelancer,
Mm-hmm.
do you think he would have taught Eklavya?
Maybe if Eklavya promised to carry his revenge, I mean, at the end it's a revenge, I think yes.
Hmm. So
Because
I think
there was no attachment to the Kuru at that time.
yeah, like I was thinking, can we both agree on this that Drona, probably in his personal capacity, would have agreed to give Eklavya the education, but I think he was also burdened by this responsibility that he is a teacher appointed by Kurus for Kuru princess.
But the question,
Hmm.
would Eklavya want to be his student if he didn't have the fame that he has now? Because Drona, before he started teaching as the Kuru master or Acharya, he was unknown, he was poor.
Yeah, but I would still believe that Drona was known.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because people knew that he's Shishya of Parshuram and all those credentials. So I don't think that they would have, like, it would be the case that Drona, like, for me, it was like probably it was already known that he was the greatest teacher, archer at that point of time.
Okay.
So for Eklavya and later for Karn, it made sense that they both wanted him as their guru.
I think yes, especially because of the sentence, such reverence shown in those stark, dark eyes. Drona never had a look like that from any of his disciples. So there was devotion. There was
Yeah, like,
there was a deep respect and a deep, I think in, and this is a big jump. You remember when Drona went to receive the knowledge from his last master? What was his name? He went to the top of the mountain, Parshuram. So maybe there was something of himself that he recognized in Eklavya. I don't know. I'm just...
no, for me, it's like, I also feel that probably the Hindu mythological books are always written in a way that someone, always gives you signs
Mm-hmm.
of how good they are. So, like, say if someone doesn't look incredible, then most probably that person is not incredible. So that's how the books are written. So maybe just to introduce him, that he looked this way, that way.
No, but the book doesn't tell us that he has physical capabilities. It does tell us that he has reverence
Yeah. So
towards his master. But
yeah.
and is reverence towards your master or your potential master enough to develop your skills?
Like,
Well,
I think it
maybe.
in this way. For me, it's very simple. Say if you meet someone who is something in yoga,
Mm-hmm.
something great, and you look forward to them
Mm-hmm.
as an inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
If you will meet them, most probably you will have reverence for them.
Absolutely.
So I think it's probably like that everyone knows that Drona is the the best teacher of archery in the world. So having that reverence, I feel, is Like I think it's totally a human emotion there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then Drona sees that, oh, Eklavya is like what is that word? Exuding, or I don't know. Like, but he's
Exuding.
exuding a lot of potential through his
Mm-hmm.
like face. His face
The
is,
way he moves.
yeah, the way he moves, and his face has probably an aura of a mini sun or something like that. So I think he also probably knew, like when he saw Arjun for the first time, that, oh, this student is special. So I think he had the same perception for Eklavya. And also, like the way chapter describes it, that he kept on looking at him as he went,
Mm-hmm.
and he felt little sad as well, because I think as a teacher also, you always want to collect great students like Horace Lagon.
Yeah, you made me think about Slughorn.
Yeah. So,
Okay. So there's one thing that he says, you are not a kshatriya. And for me was like, okay, this is pure discrimination. And later in the text, we have, he is not a kshatriya, he is not a noble man. Arjun would never do something like this to a dog. And after I started thinking, okay, the not doing something like this to an animal, it's related to nobility. And I started to think about kshatriya not as a social class, but a code. You know, if you are a samurai, there's a code. If you are a yogi, wanting or not, there's a code. So because he's from the forest, he was raised as a nishad, he can't follow that code. So is that discrimination or not? And I'm not trying to excuse at all the society.
no, I just feel that the code works if you don't box people as soon as they are born.
Agree?
Like, I don't think, at least in my knowledge, that to be a samurai, you have to be born
No.
in a samurai household. But to be a kshatriya, it was as simple as that. Okay, you were born in in that environment, and that's why you are a kshatriya. So there was no possibility for Eklavya to say develop those, uh,
Which is pure discrimination.
yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe if, say, Eklavya was accepted, he may not have done such a thing.
Yeah. But maybe if he was accepted, he would never become such a great archer.
Yeah,
That was my weird theory.
that's always a possibility.
Because the forest, it's a harsher teacher.
Yeah.
And to depend on your archery to live and survive, it's different from, oh, I'm here just learning this.
Yeah, for him it was a much more real life application of whatever he was learning. While for Pandavas and Kauravas, it was more of, like you were taught some theory in school,
Yeah.
but you never applied in real life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And can we compare? So I think there was some discrimination from Arjun. Some, okay, from Arjun towards Eklavya.
Yeah.
He is better than me, and he's just a nishad.
Yeah, just a mere hunter.
A mere hunter. So there's a clear.
Well, it wasn't from Arjun. It was from, so at least I made a note of a line which was from Drona. It would break his spirit if There was anyone better than him, not even another Kshatriya, but a mere hunter. So that's what Drona thought to himself. Maybe Arjun also thought something similar somewhere.
I I think Drona is voicing their prejudice, and we see later on
Yeah.
where this hierarchy comes out, and even Bhishma uses it as an argument. So I think Drona voices the thoughts of Arjun. To be
Where
honest,
Bhishma uses
not Bhishma, Bhima,
Bhim. Okay.
him,
Okay.
relating in relation to Karna.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. So for our kind listeners, just putting it out upfront here that when we are talking about all this discrimination, this has everything to do with caste system and caste discrimination, which has been practiced in India for like thousands of years. If someone denies this, and if someone says, "Oh, it was all a British construct or a
Oh no, it
Portuguese,"
was a Portuguese. Blame me.
yeah, like whatever Portuguese construct, it's all in your head. You are delusional, but and I'm being very upfront. I'm even ready to call you out stupid if you believe in those kinds of things. Exercising my freedom of speech, and you can believe whatever you want about me. Yes, there are counter arguments. Probably I should just put that as well, that there are counter arguments that Eklavya was son of king of Nishads, ultimately son of a king, probably not someone destitute or poor. Uh, and he was maybe in alliance with Magad or Jarasandh. I've read these kinds of things. They were not mentioned in this novel. And Magad was supposed to be an enemy of Hastinapur, and therefore Drona could not teach him. However, in this particular novel, he was denied because he was a Nishad. And if he would have even said that, "Oh, I have been appointed by Kuru to teach Kuru princes, so I cannot take you," that that would have been a very different thing than what he said. He said, "You are a Nishad. I cannot." They will not agree. The Kuru princes will not agree to practice alongside you, or something like that. He said. So this for sure was caste discrimination, and it's still happening in India. So I don't think uh, like that's the reality of the society which we have to accept, and accordingly we have to make provisions or things to make things better. Uh, that's
Thank you.
my rant.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, and now that you touch that, I find very interesting that Eklavya accepts completely. So we will see in the next two chapters someone that does not accept that discrimination, and Eklavya accepts it. He doesn't argue. He doesn't fight. He asks for a blessing and continues his journey and continues this learning from inspiration, or because basically he created a statue, and it seems that that devotion channeled the knowledge of Drona, and it became his teacher without the knowledge of Drona, which is interesting.
I had a theory for this.
Give me that theory, please.
That it was the forest which brought him the knowledge.
I think so too.
Yeah, the birds, the trees.
Yeah.
They just heard it and passed it. So when Drona was taking Kuru's lessons, the lessons reached him through this ways.
Yeah, but I don't know, because like he put up the target, but he made sure he couldn't see the target. So everything that he was doing, it was one level or two levels harder than what the Kurus were doing.
What if the forest did something?
I
Like Chinese whisper.
I don't know, but I think he he might have in a way been his own uh, master, and he he wanted to be archery. He didn't have any external purpose. He didn't want to be the best. He didn't want to defeat anyone. He didn't have a grudge against anyone. He just wanted to perfect the art itself. So he made the practice an art and himself. And he would just push himself further and further because there was no limits. While in the Kuru school, Drona was the best. So being Drona or being Arjun, it was to be the best. So there was a limit. It's like you have a world speed limit. It's not limit. I'm missing the word.
Speed of light, which is
No.
No?
Like in a
record.
a record.
Yeah.
So you have a record, and it's very difficult to break that record because in your mind that's the best. It's impossible to cross it. He didn't have that mental limits because nobody told him this is not possible. And maybe it was that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This
No, that helps. I can give you an example. I read a story from some, I don't know which university it was, but some professor came and wrote couple of problems on the board, and there was one guy who was late to the lecture or probably didn't attend the lecture. So he just came and wrote down the notes, and he wrote down those problems. And the professor said that these are like two unsolved big problems of our area. That was what he said in the, and that person thought that these are assignments.
Oh.
And he crazily tried to solve them and like kept on pushing, and somehow he was able to solve them.
Exactly.
And he was awarded PhD then and there. And I guess then he was awarded awards as well. So many times if there is no one to tell you that this is not,
What's the limit?
yeah, and this is not possible,
Yeah.
because as soon as you get to know, and then you relax, you are like, okay, if not possible, then why am I
Yeah.
pushing?
And I think his devotion, passion, obsession towards archery, plus nobody told him there was a limit, allowed him to be such a great archer.
Yeah.
And if he was in the Kuru school, he would have.
Yeah, he would have,
limits.
say, Arjun as the competition, and he would be happy if he would say just beating Arjun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also have examples from my school. Like I had a consistent class topper. She's a very good friend. She topped my class for like consecutive 12 years. Okay. And there was a kid I remember from primary school. He gave her a very tough competition. He probably managed to tie with her once.
Okay.
And then there was another girl who was always third. Okay. As soon as that boy he left the school, that girl who was third, and she wasn't that close to the girl who was first, she started giving her such a tough competition that we were all surprised.
Okay.
So I think because for her earlier the ceiling was the second position.
Yeah.
But then when that ceiling was gone, she could compete with the one at the top.
Yeah.
And I will have to give credits to my friend who was at the top. Like she didn't leave that top for anyone.
So, and yeah, she defined what was the top.
Yeah. Yeah, like she was the benchmark, and
Yeah.
everyone was trying to reach that benchmark. But no one knew like if we could have done any better.
And I think exactly. And I think that's why it's so important to choose who's our masters or who are our role models.
Yes.
Because if I pick a role model that it's, you know, I should pick someone that, or I should change role models in the sense of if I choose someone that is really high, I just think, okay, I can't, I'm incapable. So maybe we should keep changing role models.
Okay.
And okay, because this is close enough to me and it's tangible. And after, okay, I reach here. Okay, let me now find someone else that has more knowledgeable, but it's tangible for me.
When you said this, I think I remembered a video from Veritasium which was about learning. And I think he says the true learning happens at a sweet spot. You should be challenged enough,
Yeah.
but you should not be challenged like crazy enough. And you should also succeed in some things,
Yeah.
so that like that reward system you keep on getting.
Yeah. And I have to be honest, you know, the book that I'm reading now of Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. And it's probably the 10th time that I'm trying to read that book. I've read other transliterations, other authors, but this author that I know it's one of the best ones, I would start losing it in the sense I wouldn't understand I would understand the English, the meaning of the words, but I wouldn't understand the sentence. And finally, I'm enjoying it. It's making sense to me. Because before, I wasn't ready to understand what was written there. So, just to say, you know, I had to read other authors, to practice, to understand other things to get there. And this leads me to talk about something that it's very, I think, very ingrained in the Mahabharata and in the yogi and tradition, that is the complete surrendering and devotion to one master. I don't think it's wise, especially nowadays, to surrender that way into someone and be blind. I don't think that's healthy nowadays. I don't think that's positive. It can be highly damaging psychologically, emotionally, physically. And I want to ask your opinion. Do you think in these times it was wise because people were not that corrupt, but because nowadays it's very difficult for people to have power? It seems that power and money, people become a bit lost. What's your opinion on that?
My opinion is that, we are not dealing with humans here. They are sort of demigods like characters being portrayed.
Okay.
So when they are being portrayed that way, I don't think, we talk about those human weaknesses which we all humans have. So, and I totally agree with you that it doesn't make sense to completely get blinded or in devotion or just surrendering your uh what should I
The
say?
divinization of a human.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And you should always keep your intellect on. You should be the last one to make the call if something is right or wrong. Um, and I think in the story, in this context, it may make sense, but that is not something, say, which I may want a child to learn from this.
Yeah, and that was my next point, because stories are education. You learn from it. And it is the Mahabharata. It's a pillar for many people. And what I'm learning from this, am I learning that even a master can be wrong? Or am I learn to give my thumb to my master?
So I think that's the thing. Uh, I read this somewhere about Harry Potter,
Mm-hmm.
that how well the books have been written.
Mm-hmm.
Harry starts as someone who's totally devoted to Albus Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like for him, like Hagrid sets the tone,
Mm-hmm.
and Harry has 100% faith on Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as Harry grows and is reaching to be an adult, and in the seventh year, he realizes that Dumbledore is also,
He's not perfect.
he's not perfect, he's flawed.
Yeah.
And then Harry makes the choice that I'm going to support whatever was the good parts of Dumbledore.
Mm-hmm.
And for now, because I need to get something done, I will, for the time being, probably ignore the difficult parts. And I think through these stories, the thing to learn is that even with such good demigods like characters, they were flawed in their own ways. That someone asked for someone's thumb. I wrote it as complete discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
Drona didn't ask any other students for
To-
such a thing.
yeah.
These demigods later were on the side of Kurus, which was total adharma personified.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you are teaching a child someone, probably you can always tell them that, like say Arjun used his intellect, I feel, at least later when he
Yeah.
grew up.
Yeah.
He decided to stand against his own teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Eklavya, I think, for him, this acknowledgement meant a lot. That you asking me for Dakshina means you have accepted me as a teacher. So I actually feel that Eklavya sets that tone about social justice.
Okay.
That you didn't want me as a teacher, you didn't want me as a student in the beginning, but in the end, you only accepted that I am your student and you asked me something. Now, what he asked was outrageous, that's different, and Eklavya complied. But I think for Eklavya, it was kind of setting a tone for the future that if I deserve something, I I
I
make
have
it.
the right.
I have the right and I make it happen through
Okay.
my sheer hard work. Having said that, I don't want future generations
Yeah.
to prove themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, and I want to ask you one thing.
Hmm.
Do you think Drona have done that? So asked for the time. I think he've done it, or Arjun.
Yes.
And he was trembling, and he even turned to see if Arjun relented. He wanted to keep the mental health and emotional health of Arjun. But in another way, this was his own doing.
Yes. That's why I said Master Shifu and Tai Lung.
Yeah.
I don't think it's wise to fill a child with
A promise that you can't fulfill.
Yeah. Because that's not in your hand.
Yeah.
There can always be a greater archer than Arjun. Like Krishna was born in Arjun's era. If Krishna would have done archery,
Yeah.
Arjun wouldn't have stood a chance.
He had some other weapon.
Yeah, but like say if you are saying that he was God, he was Vishnu, he was Narayan, then he was a perfect archer, perfect mace warrior,
Whatever.
perfect everything. But I think that was a big promise which he made to
Yeah.
him, and I genuinely felt it was pure, that parallel of Shifu and Tai Lung. That
Yeah.
Tai Lung was always told that you will be the dragon warrior, and then Ugwe says, no, you will not. You are not, you don't deserve it. And for me, it's like, from a kid, if you are...
Yeah, promised something from a kid and suddenly you say, oh, no,
Yeah.
you are not worth it. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
promised me.
Yeah, like he says, Tai Lung says, I broke my bones. I did everything what you told me. Where is
Yeah.
my scroll?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think probably Arjun was also going through the same phase.
Beautiful comparison. Thank you. Thank you so much. Because I had many conflicts in this. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think it was more of a Drona's doing.
Yeah.
Arjun was reacting the way,
He was what, 15, 16?
yeah, maybe at least through the story. So, and we don't know, say, how Arjun may have reacted if he had slept over it. Everything happened bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Like, say, maybe after a week, he may be jealous, which can be okay, but say he may not have. We don't know after a week did how he felt about Eklavya giving his thumb.
In my dream, irrealistic and idealistic mind, I thought, well, they could embrace Eklavya, and Arjuna and Eklavya could be the greatest team ever.
Yeah, but I think those possibilities were not.
I know.
Yeah, because
I said irrealistic, idealistic.
Yeah, it's like, say, Panda and Dragon Warrior, Tai Lung becoming friends.
I think they become allies
In last
in the last one.
last one, yeah.
So we never know.
But Tai Lung had to die for that.
Well, maybe in the afterlife,
Yeah.
Eklavya
And
and Arjun.
in all honesty, if I am being Arjun, I will still feel that, well, that guy was much better than me. He was just robbed of, and he was asked to get his, like, he had to give his thumb so that I can become better.
Yeah.
So
For me, would be like, okay, what have he done to become so good that I do it? Tell me how you practice.
yeah.
What was the methods that I can improve?
Yeah. So
And I think that there's a brainwave. So it's almost saying that I can't be better than this. I can't improve myself, which is wrong.
yeah.
It's looking at things as permanent, and that's one of the teachings of Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita is nothing is permanent.
I think so. For sure, we can agree that Arjun was no perfect man,
Yeah.
but he was, I think, he was open to learn something new. Now, in this episode, how he reacted, I think it was pure emotion, which is one of the trait of Arjun. As
Yeah.
we know, he is emotional. And what I felt was that whatever Drona did, so, like, for now, let's for a second just forget about whole this discrimination aspect. Let's take it this way. Arjun is destined to get the Gyan of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
And for that, Arjun needs to be the greatest archer in the world. Now that task has
Is that a prerequisite?
It's a prerequisite in the way that you ultimately wants to portray to the humanity that the greatest archer in the world
It's in conflict.
Yeah, and he started trembling
Okay.
in front of his teacher and his grandfather that how can I kill them? Okay. So you want to
But you are doing reverse engineering.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I'm setting the stage. Like,
Okay.
I'm saying if, like, I want to think about the situation from all the aspects if possible. So I'm trying to be an advocate for Drona in this case. That if you have been asked, that Drona have been asked, make this kid the greatest archer in the world. Now suddenly some other kid appears who is much better than Arjun. Okay, and now Drona says that my whole project is in danger. So Drona does.
Because I'm God and I control the outcomes of everything.
Yeah, so Drona does what Drona could. Okay, and he takes it, and for that he takes kind of a, what should I say, a blot on his own legacy.
Yeah.
That's how someone can defend Drona. Like, and many times I think that's how people are defended in Hindu mythologies, because everything is destined, everything
Yeah.
is supposed to happen, and the destiny makes it happen that way. Maybe the text actually wanted us to teach that these are the wrongdoings of your ancestors, so don't do them.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, it happened in that time, so we should also do it now.
It can be.
It's like, we don't know what lesson actually.
I keep thinking about what Eklavya says, that a thumb it's nothing for the knowledge that I received, and archery it's in the spirit. And for me, it's just, I understand what he's saying, but I think you need a level of maturity to not get lost in that concept. And, you know, in lofty analysis, it can be Arjun was being driven by his ego because he wanted to be the best. But that seed, that samskara, was planted by Drona. And Eklavya was a free spirit with no ideas of others that we know, and he just wanted to learn. And he didn't want to be the greatest archery. So it's all, what I'm just about to say, it's wrong. Okay, it's like, okay, you don't want to be the best one, so okay, just give me your time to satisfy the other guy. It's horrible. Okay, it's absolutely horrible.
um I would say one more defense for Drona can be that whatever Eklavya did to that dog was horrible.
Yes, thank you. I forgot that. Yeah.
So in some ways he deserved a punishment, and I think Drona was like, this person can be a threat in future.
Yeah.
And also, being a Kuru teacher, I should not let that threat grow up. And I can, if someone is thinking, oh, this is such a bad way to think
Do you
about
think
this.
he sees too much power in the wrong hands?
Yes.
Okay.
And, that's the thing, say, which intelligence agencies they do for their nation. They do the dirty work. Like, if they realize that, oh, there is some organization which is growing and which can be a threat to their nation's security, or some person can be a threat to their nation's security, they may eliminate that person, even when, say, they may not have committed any crimes. They may just have the intention to commit a crime.
Precogs.
Yeah. So I think, like, if I'll have to defend Drona, these are the ways. Having said that, I still feel whatever happened was unjust. Eklavya was clearly discriminated, at least through this text. We can establish that. And that discrimination stems from the original seed of casteism in India. So, yeah.
Okay, I think we reach a conclusion. So I think we can move on to our blessings.
Yeah. I would just add one line. Sorry. If anyone says, oh, you are just ranting about the problem, what's the solution? The solution is very easy. Get rid of caste system and everything is good.
I love that point of view, but to get rid of caste system, that means re-educating people.
Yes.
Okay, you were telling me that people come and touch the feet of your parents,
Yeah.
and they really don't want it.
Yeah.
But it would be disrespectful, and the other people will feel
No,
bad.
so for the older generation, let them die. Okay. Like at max 20, 30, 40 years, they will go away. But to the newer generation, you can keep on educating them. Okay. I am totally okay if people start dropping their surnames, the second names in India, because they are clear indicators of
Hmm.
casteism. And I think that's the case even in other countries as well. Like you get to know the class of people with their.
No, not in Portugal.
Okay, good to know that.
Sometimes there's some commentaries about the size of the name.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know this, or maybe this is a myth, but like if someone has a very big, long name, that means, oh, they probably are related to some
Royalty.
noble
Yeah.
royal thing.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. Or if you, yeah, I
Yeah.
think,
So, like, I'm totally okay if people go with those ideas where they are no longer attached with these caste identities, because it's just something which you got for free. You haven't done anything to earn any of those
mm-hmm.
privileges. Uh, so yeah, that's it. I don't want to rant anymore on this topic.
Great. So, who do you
Blessings.
want to naman?
It's a difficult one for me.
Oh, it is. That's why I asked you first.
See, obvious candidate is Eklavya. So,
Yeah.
okay, so, and I think I have talked enough about Eklavya, but I would like to naman in this chapter a very flawed personality in this chapter, and that was Arjun.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I thought about it too.
because yeah, I just felt bad that, and yeah, and then it made me give put it put this idea in my head that I should keep on reminding my sister, my brother-in-law, and myself not to instill our ambitions within my nephew Adu,
Yeah.
uh, because it's not a good idea
Yeah.
to plant seeds of big ambition in a kid, and if that doesn't happen, it breaks them.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Arjun.
Thank you. Thank you. Because yeah, I that thought crossed my mind um of blessing Arjun. And I have two options. Or I go along with you, or I bless Eklavya.
Bless Eklavya, I think he deserved
It
at
is,
least someone blessing him.
yeah, and I want to naman him because he shows a strength that I think all of us lack in this society. That is that single minded action of doing something regardless of the outcome and just keep going, or pure joy of doing it. And that's what I want to remind myself every day, that I don't want to get out of bed to do my morning yoga practice. Just keep doing. And I know this is probably has been said thousands, millions of times nowadays, but I think it's always a good reminder. And that's what I learn or relearn from Eklavya is do it. Even if you have to, break it 100 times to build it again. Even if you have to believe that you are being inspired first by someone else, but actually it's only the forest that is teaching you, keep doing it, because that's the truth that it's in your heart. So don't question it.
Yeah, I started
Sorry.
thinking about that story. Uh, I'm forgetting the name. He was one of the chess world champion, probably Petrov or Petron, something of that sort. But the story goes like this: that he was playing a chess match, and the opponent, he sees that the position is going towards a dead draw, and he had a chance to have a draw with the world champion. So he asks him politely, "Are you playing for a win?" And the world champion says, "No." So the person felt little bit better that okay, he's also not playing for the win, so probably a draw is incoming. After some time, he asks, are you thinking that you will lose the game? Are you playing for the loss? And he says, no. And he was all confused. What is going here? And then he asks him, are you playing for the draw? And he says, no. And then he was like, then what are you playing for? And he says, I play to play.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we saw in Eklavya.
Yeah, he played to play. 100%. And
Yeah.
I think we should play to play.
Yeah.
We should, enjoy the game.
Yes.
Have fun in the game of life.
Like here we are under the banyan tree.
Yes.
We are just playing the play. We don't care.
True. Absolutely.
We don't care how many people watch us or what they talk about us, but we just play the play.
And we enjoy it. And when we don't do it, we miss it.
Yes, we miss as if something is missing in our lives. So it has become a part of our weekend ritual.
Yeah. Okay, so on this note, I think it's time to say see you later. So in our next episode, we will be reading chapter 32, A Young Man's Dreams, and 33, Kern Finds a Master. And our sankalpa is to read it from the point of view of conflict. And I'm already predicting some conflicts between him and me regarding the meaning of conflict. So I hope you join us next time. Have a great day, a great week. See you soon.
See you soon, and wish Leonor loads of luck. Because she will have something happening here. I mean her teeth.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we will not be here next week, but probably next to next week. So till then,
If I can speak.
yeah, that's why I said wish her loads of luck so that she can be back with us soon, and we can hear her on conflict. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.